Okay, I didn't see this video. Okay, we haven't watched this video. Okay, lock in, chat. This is gonna be a funny video. It's only 10 minutes long. The invasion of Gen Alpha. What generation are you guys? I'm Gen Z, but I feel like, and obviously this isn't true. This is just me because I don't want to be bunched in with all the dumb Gen Zers. But I feel like there's a cutoff for Gen Z because I feel like Gen Z used to be split between two generations because I'm super early Gen Z, right? And so super early Gen Z didn't grow up with iPad. Well, I mean, no, we didn't because the iPhone came out in 2007. So I was 6 years old. And obviously, my parents and nobody really had like I didn't have not a single person in my family had an iPad ever. Like I never had an iPad. I got like an iPod when I was like 14, maybe 13. But with an iPod, you have to be on internet to basically do anything. And then I didn't get my first phone until maybe 8th grade, freshman year. Something like that. And it was a really shit phone. It wasn't even an iPhone. It was Android. And back then, the Androids were fast. What I'm trying to say is there's a fine line. I feel like the later Gen Zers, like I was born in 2001. I feel like past 2010, those Gen Zers were iPad kids. They have the potential to be iPad kids. And I don't want to be lumped in with iPad kids because I'm damn near a grown-ass man, bro. Okay, I got to pay taxes, okay? But some of these kids out here are still playing I play Fortnite. Or iPad. I'm granting. Let's get in the video. Let's get into the invasion of Gen Alpha. What generation are you guys? Comment below. Comment below.
There are 4 of the most notable generations known in recent years of humanity. Boomers, Gen X, Millennials, and Gen Z. These 4 generations lived in harmony. Okay, that's a lie, but it just goes with the intro, so let me play this out. All was well in humanity, and although each side had problems of their own, when times got rough, they came together to conquer them with iron fists. That was until the invasion
Gen Alpha.
Gen Alpha. iPads.
Oh, dude, this is so true, and I've said it before on previous streams. I work at a sushi restaurant, right? And I always see these adults, usually millennial adults, bring their like 4-year-old. I saw an 8-year-old girl yesterday, an 8-year-old girl with a whole ass phone, and it was her phone, 8 years old, and it was an iPhone, and that was all she did. She had it was like a party of 14. She had like a party of 14 with her family or whatever, and she was on her phone the entire time. Like, that's crazy, bro. She can't even converse.
Unstandable personality, no attention span, are just some of the things that Gen Alpha has been labeled. Oh, and if you didn't know about this, you would have known if you follow my IG. So, quick plug, go follow my IG. And in the last video where I ranked every generation's worst faults, everyone asked me, but Tommy, you forgot all about Gen Alpha. Best believe I didn't forget. No.
Because they get their own video.
On track to being the worst setup generation that has ever existed.
Yep.
It's the combination of every generation's worst faults combined into one. And the first thing I want to start up with is entertainment. Now, there's a very important date I want you to all remember, which is February 15th, 2015.
Okay, that's okay. Why is that important? Why is that important?
That's the date YouTube Kids.
Okay, YouTube. Oh, dude, I can grant on this too. YouTube Kids is so stupid because as a YouTuber, right? Me, like, I don't even understand why videos get age restricted on YouTube. I don't understand that at all because there's an entire app for kids. So on main YouTube, on regular YouTube, the YouTube that literally everybody uses besides kids, why are my videos getting demonetized for age restrictions when this site isn't for kids? There's like, why? I don't understand. I'm playing a freaking video game, bro. I can play The Last of Us, be Joel, and curb stomp the shit out of somebody's head until their skull is exposed. But if I don't know where I was going with that. But if I play a VR game, right, and I play a VR game, turn off the blood, and I just cut somebody's head off, demonetization. I can rant on that all day, bro.
Was released. aka the killing of childhood entertainment. For every other generation, there was a time where your main or only source of entertainment was the TV or a family computer. And kids' main source of entertainment, since usually they didn't get iPhone 14 Pro Maxes at 5 years old, was the TV. So off rip, we didn't have unlimited mindless access to things we wanted and basically had to watch what the TV programs chose. You could say that the TV is mindless entertainment, but not at the level we have now. Comparing a selection of programs chosen by people versus a selection of content.
Yeah, see, I only, when I was a kid, I only watched a select few channels, either Disney, Cartoon Network, or Nickelodeon. Those were the three goats as a child. And now I feel like those channels don't even get viewed. Like, did you guys ever watch, like, for me, mainly it was Cartoon Network, because as a boy growing up in the years that I did, and the majority of my friends can concur with this as well, Cartoon Network was the way, bro. Cartoon Network by far made the best shows. It had the best content. And what's funny is I felt like Cartoon Network grew up with me as I was growing up. So like when I started out when I was like 7, 8, and 9, you know, we had like Ben 10. We had Dexter's Laboratory. But as I grew up, they put out even more bangers that were like my preteen age, damn near in high school, like freshman year. They had a regular show, Adventure Time, Amazing World of Gumball, Chowder. Like they just kept getting better and better. I don't know how they are now. I'm assuming they're kind of ass. Like Flounder. I think there's a show called Flounder. I don't even know. Disney was cool too. Disney had some cool bangers. Obviously, Nickelodeon had SpongeBob. Who doesn't love old SpongeBob, by the way. The new I try to watch new SpongeBob episodes. I might even do a whole reaction to like people diving into like the old episodes versus the new episodes, because the new ones are ass. They're complete trash. Anyways, let's get back to it.
Content tailored to your specific needs. We know which one's more addictive. I mean, come on. Which Gen Alpha is the first generation to grow up without these restrictions. And you know what? I would say that's actually a-okay. I mean, as long as the content is helping push forward positive educational brain stimulating videos, then no need to worry. Right? Yeah, for any of y'all that have taken a gander at your little cousin's iPad, you will know that's not the case. Like, bro, they really be out here watching videos like this glued to the screen. You look in their eyes while they're watching one of these, and I genuinely think you'll turn into stone. For Gen Z and millennials, man, we really grew up with the last ounce of childhood shows that we can reminisce.
It's true. I honestly, I do think it's true. And like, you know, every generation hates the next generation. So my generation's gonna hate Gen Alpha. Gen Alpha is gonna hate the generation that comes after them, and the cycle is gonna repeat because that's just how it is. But I do think that my generation did have the last good TV shows, because now like TV shows are ass. Like kid TV shows, obviously. Like I don't know of a single good kid TV show. They're always just like rehashes. Like how many times have they remade Ben 10? And the new Ben 10 is ass, by the way. It's ass. Regular show is done. Adventure Time's over. All the good ones are over. I don't know any good. I mean, obviously I don't watch those shows anymore, but I still go back and watch regular show just because that show is that good.
On with happiness. I can look on with happiness at most of the cartoons, childhood shows, and books I read as a kid. The fact that there's gonna be Gen Alpha kids looking back at Coco Melon and Skibbity Toilet than being,
oh my god, bro, don't even get me started on Skibbity.
Like, oh man, they don't make them like this anymore. This shit was a classic. Nigga, no! It just sounds like a nightmare dystopian waiting to happen. Like, I'm sitting here trying to understand how they're gonna be genuinely happy and nostalgic over this shit. And don't get me wrong, okay? Gen Z and millennials had their weird shit too growing up as well. Niggas was out here watching Uncle Grandpa.
I never watched a show. Nope. See, the shows like this, I would never watch. Like, I don't know why people would even watch. Like, Uncle Grandpa, I never watched a show. Okay? Beyblade is another really good Cartoon Network show. I love Beyblade Metal Fusion, bro. Back when I was in 5th grade, that was the trend. Everybody brought their Beyblades to school. Everybody, bro. Like this show, like there's a reason this show, nobody watched the show, and I'm sure the show got canceled because nobody watched it. Chowder's a different story. I actually like Chowder, but that show got canceled, unfortunately.
Brain dead shit you'll ever watch. I know y'all remember the old MLG edits where whatever the this was playing, but you know what? I'll take any of these any day.
Yeah, I'd rather have same.
And another problem with all their entertainment is all the weird ththings they actually.
You know, we used to have YouTube Poop, but YouTube Poop was like a special thing for its time when it came to YouTube, though. Like that was like the silver age for YouTube. Like you're not gonna see content like that no more. Like, you're only going to see content like that back then in the infancy of YouTube. So I feel like, you know, It's okay.
consume. Like, do y'all think all the weird stuff that bypasses on YouTube Kids would ever play on a television? No, I remember if you even cursed on TV, they would hit your ass with about 50 lawsuits and thousands of dollars worth of fines. But now you got kids on YouTube Kids looking at Elsa and Spider-Man kissing videos, weird pregnancy videos. We're not even gonna get into that thing. Just the most trash and mind-numbing shit you'll ever see. I don't even want to go through all of it. Taking a scroll through the homepage makes me feel like I'm about to have a rainbow seizure. I can only imagine the type of mindset they're going to grow up and how this type of content is going to affect them in the future. I don't think it's gonna be good. Everyone else is already thugging it out and we had it way easier. Another problem I see is definitely education. In general, I feel like the entire world is facing an education crisis. Like, who in reality wants to—
That's another issue we can get into. Like, the whole education system is so fucked, but I don't really want to get into that.
Teach anymore. You get paid a salary equivalent to a popsicle stick. Kids don't listen to you and have no respect for you. And kids can't even comprehend the lesson you're required to teach. Like, just imagine being a middle school teacher in the year of 2023. I thank God I can do YouTube full time because I wouldn't make it alive after a year after working. And recently there's been a lot of teachers complaining
why kids can't read in 2023. Holy shit, guys. Eventually, they're going to be our presidents. That's crazy. I want to die before then. I might take myself out. Or, hopefully, Elon takes us to Mars by then. I'll happily go to Mars.
Complaining about how dumb Gen Z and Gen Alpha actually are. Saying that there are 7th graders that can't even read at a—
7th graders can't read? You're sped. No. I don't believe. I don't know if I believe that, actually. Like, there's no way. I truly do not believe that. Like, it's a flex to be smart. If you can read big boy words. It's a flex, bro. There's no way a 7th grader can't read.
3rd grade level. Like, bro, you're supposed to be able to read chapter books by 2nd grade, and these kids out here struggling to read Dr. Seuss. Now, granted, there has always been—
Is it the fact that they can't read, or they just don't have the attention span to read? Because I would argue that they probably just don't have the attention span to read.
Dumbass niggas in the class that genuinely can't read. But from the amount of teachers I've seen complaining about this, it's on a whole nother level now. And I can honestly believe them just off of when I read some of the comments y'all be making. You ever see a comment online and you legit have to sit there and hyper focus to make out what they're even talking about? I'd be like, damn, did you even look at what you typed out, my nigga? What are you talking about? Maybe it was just different for me because I was a scholarly student. I've always been good at English and literature in school. But now it feels like instead of it just being 2 dumbasses in the class that can't read, it's the entire class that can't read. More than ever is it possible to let—
That's a good video.
You do the work, which is why I think this is happening.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, this is true. Like, when it comes to AI, like, dude, the whole school system needs to be changed because AI ain't even, like, the school system ain't ready for AI. I was thinking about going back to college and literally just to get the degree. Like, I didn't really want to do anything. I wanted to get a philosophy degree because that's what I'm into, right? And for the classes that I didn't really care about, like English, I had to take some sort of science class, math class. Don't really care about that, right? AI. Oh, write a 3-page essay on Edgar Allan Poe, whatever the fuck it is, right? Okay, sure. Just type it into the AI prompt and the AI will type it for me. Why would I want to spend hours writing a stupid ass essay about something about a subject that I could give 2 fucks about when I have AI do it for me in 2 seconds? Like, that's where I think the school system needs to change. They need to have, like, the things that you're interested in is the thing you should be learning. Obviously, you should know basic English, basic math, whatever, right? But you should be learning that in, like, high school, elementary school, whatever it is. But when you're in college, and I want to be a fucking doctor, why am I writing a fucking essay on Mice of Men? Why am I writing an essay on Edgar Allan Poe? I need to learn how many bones are in the human body. I need to learn what the largest organ for the human is. I don't need to know or write a fucking essay. I don't need to know about the Pythagorean theorem. I don't need to know about any of that. That's where colleges fuck up, bro.
Problem is definitely socializing. We already know all of Gen Z being addicted to their phones is causing them to be unreal, antisocial human beings, talking like troglodytes and burning up when the sun hits their skin. But Gen Z was just the experiment group. The game turned from experimental mode to alpha testing now. At least for most of us, we could fathom a social life without using our phones. Going outside after school to play all types of outside games with the homies, meeting at a park, playing basketball, soccer, baseball, whatever, having this be the huddle ground and just chopping it up. Things that require the brain to be in a human state and cause our actions to have consequences. Gen Alpha sadly is the first generation to be deprived of this. They were born with phones and tablets in their hands since birth. Their new meeting huddle ground instead is a Discord call with their online Roblox friends, having e-sex in Discord calls and all types of monkey business. Like, you know—
Ew. Do people really have Discord sex? I want to try that.
We were all super excited when it was recess time in elementary school and we could finally go outside. I guarantee these kids do not give a they'd rather sit inside and play on their tablet instead. And I can't even put blame on all of them. Like, lockdown definitely did not help with this issue. Can you imagine when you were a kid, you went from first grade to third or fourth grade and you're finally back in a physical school socializing? You missed damn near half your experience, and those are the most important times for learning how to communicate. It's not normal for anyone, let alone a child, to be locked away from socializing like that. Another thing that's definitely going to be worse is creativity. Most of us remember as a kid when you would have toys and board games and read childhood books. With all of these things, especially when you read a book as a kid, you could imagine the scenario coming.
I remember when I was a kid in elementary school, me and my friends, I would be in the after school program, right? So my parents would be working during the day. So even after the regular school was over, I had to basically have to stay at school and be watched because my parents were like at work. And so they just obviously gonna pick me up, whatever. And so me and my friends, we basically created this like friend group where we would make comics. We would literally like get like blank pieces of paper together, fold them together and staple them, and then we would like make our own comic book stories. I don't think a single person under the age of 10 as of right now has ever done that ever.
To life, which is a good way of building up the brain's cognitive abilities and helps you create huge things in the future. You would play fight with your toys and act out scenarios of your wildest dreams that could only be imagined. But with Gen Alpha and their iPads, you don't even need creativity anymore. Like, what's the point of imagining things creatively when you could just play Subway Surfers for hours? And play Skibidi Toilet Roblox Obby with flashing—
Skibidi Toilet Roblox? Let me play that on the channel.
Dopamine rushes every time you open the screen, then of course you don't have to worry. Another thing that's pretty bad is Gen Alpha parenting. Now look—
obviously, you know, you can blame the kids for one. It's one thing to blame the kids, right? But in reality, it's truly the parents' fault. It's truly because the parents aren't there for the kids. Like these parents won't even have a conversation with their kids. Instead, they just throw the iPad in front of the kids for the kids to shut up. The parents don't even have any sort of empathy for their kids. They don't talk to their kids. They don't give their kids any sort of attention. And that's definitely going to bite them in the ass when they're older.
Parenting is not a walk in the park. And most parents at the end of the day are trying their best to make it work with the worst circumstances given to them. But the problem with these kids is not like they're bad like every other generation has bad kids. It's that they're demons. Like, have you ever tried to simply take away the iPad from a kid? They throw a fit, the whole building goes down, the sky collapses on itself. It's like trying to take a bone away from—
oh my god, it's a huge ass dog.
The equivalent of how a crackhead would act if you took away 5 grams of their finest crystals. And in general, just not knowing manners and how to treat people. Like, I'm damn near starting to sound like a boomer. I'm not talking about in the sense of speaking to every adult like they're King Charles III. What I mean is simply saying things like sorry or thank you or excuse me. Pretty much basic things you should already be taught as a kid. Which is another thing that teachers are apparently complaining about. Saying that kids in the first grade are starting to talk back to them. For me personally, almost none of the kids talked back in elementary school with a few exceptions. If the teacher said 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, your ass better have been quiet after the me or you were getting a call home that day. And I'm putting the blame on some—
and if you got that, for me personally, if my parents or if my teacher called my parents and told my parents that I was being a bad kid, oh god, I'd be dead. I would not be streaming right now because I would be 6 feet underground. That's where I would be.
Some parents being too Because if your kid acts like that to a teacher with authority, I can only imagine how much they step over you. I get if you don't want to be a super strict type parent and have PTSD from the way you got raised. But all I'm saying is, a good belt whooping or chancla slapping never hurt every once in a while. Now don't overdo it, but it don't hurt every once in a while. They're gonna have to learn the actions for their consequences, or they're eventually gonna around and find out too late in life. We already see this happen with people all the time in life, and it's only getting worse. I swear, these kids out here be watching Neon and Sneeko streams thinking they could just say whatever with no consequences. Another thing I feel is gonna be different is comedy. Like, we already know how the climate is right now for comedians. Comedian makes joke, aka does their job, and people run to all their social media accounts to take them down like the Flash. But can you imagine a Gen Alpha comedian even existing?
Ew.
They're gonna have the shortest career lifespan before the internet swallows them whole. They're gonna have a cartoonishly goofy list of every type of group they can't joke about. It's gonna take so much brain power to figure out what would even be okay to say. So to wrap up, I actually want to talk about some positive things that hopefully
what are the positive things about Gen Alpha? What do you guys think? I do think that they're definitely going to be more technologically inclined for sure. And like, obviously my grandparents don't really know how to use a computer, and I wouldn't say it's going to get to the point for my generation, because my generation also somewhat grew up with we grew up with technology. But I do think that Generation Alpha is probably, like, when they're like 90 years old, you know, they're going to be using all the cool shit still. Other than being technologically inclined, I really don't know, because these motherfuckers probably can't even read a book. They probably can't even sit down and read a book for 10 minutes a day. So, yeah, they also have no imagination. So I'm gonna be honest, I don't know.
Can come out from Gen Alpha. Like, I think by the time Gen Alpha is fully grown, almost no one is gonna get discriminated for some dumb shit. You can see all types of cultures and things at the touch of a button, which makes it so people don't have to wonder anymore. And since Gen Alpha is the most populated generation ever, okay, hold up, doing research for this vid, I just found out that there's 2 billion of Gen Alphas.
Holy shit.
Dear God.
Oh my God.
But hopefully that's at least gone by then. And
We're
who
fucked.
knows, maybe there's some grown Gen Alpha kids 10 or 20 years in the future that are watching this that made it a-okay. Gen Z isn't safe, like I said, but I mean, I made it out perfectly fine, and a bunch of other kids made it out perfectly fine, so hopefully those kids make it out fine. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram.
That was a dub video.
As always,
that was a good video.
Guys consensually. And until next time.
Dub video. This guy always makes pretty good videos. Tommy NFG. I'm gonna give him a little sub. Yeah, you know, let's see some of these. I honestly believe that most Gen Alpha kids will realize how garbage their entertainment really is when they grow up. Maybe, or just their attention spans will be so short. I don't really know. I'm in fact a middle school in the year of 2023, and I've seriously seen teachers break down crying. Back in the first day of math class in 7th grade, no one was paying attention. Everyone was screaming, and the teacher literally quit. That was her first day teaching, mind you. I can't say I blame her, though. I had a substitute for like 3 months of 7th grade math. I didn't learn anything. I am a late Gen Z who got out normal and don't understand Gen Alpha or most other people in Gen Z. Going outside in elementary to hit up the playground was awesome. I agree. And the hangout spots were the best. I agree. Going to sleepovers and birthday parties was the best. Alpha will never beat us with the cool stuff we had. Honestly, yeah. I agree. We had some cool shit in the 2000s. We were never meant to see Tommy without an afro. It feels so wrong. Let's see what else we got. My kid is 2.5. There's definitely some bizarre videos on YouTube he occasionally drifts onto, but my wife usually steers him back to the more educational stuff. He mostly loves his cars, trucks, and watching us play Mario Kart. He does not have a tablet or a phone, and we intended to keep it that way. Though I expect the peer pressure may become immense as he gets older. I can only hope he'll be happy with a desktop computer like I'm using right now. I think he must be getting some good educational stuff because he already knows the entire alphabet and can count to 13. Damn, he knows the entire alphabet at 2.5. That's pretty good. He counts to 13. He's also recognized some whole worlds and memorized half the books he likes, and he loves playing outside. Except now he does not like it. It's cold. Okay, that makes sense. This will be the last one. I am just barely Gen Alpha, born in 2011. So that makes this kid 12. And I am ashamed to admit it. Dude, okay, look at his grammar. He's using good big boy words. Look at I'm ashamed to admit it. Okay. I think my parents and their efforts, I I think. Oh, he already realized he thanks his parents. That's crazy. I thank my parents and their efforts to keep me from becoming a brain dead, mindless goldfish attention span child. They encourage me to read, which I love to do. I'm finishing like a book a week and not some light reading either. Play outside and learn. I'm thankful that they took the time and effort to raise me in the way that I'll have a successful in the future. Yeah, exactly. If you just put time and care into your kids, you're good. But if you just, throw screens in front of them and don't really give them any sort of love or attention, they're going to come out like shit. That's like old news, though. That's how it's always been.